Great morning. Excited. It's a new week. There's nothing better than a Monday morning because that means it's a whole new horizon, a whole new opportunity. I get fired up for Mondays. Most people are dreading today. The most common heart attack is actually Monday morning right before work. It's because people go on things they don't want to do. But we're here to grow. We're here to chase our best life. So I'm so excited. Roxy and Aubrey here. We're going to be going over an amazing video on Triple M today, Monday Morning Motivation. This is a guy I've been listening to a lot in my personal workouts. And I was thinking, man, I think he would be great on Triple M too. Really inspired by this guy's work ethic, by his mindset, and really by his message. So this is Ray Lewis. Ray Lewis is a football player, for you guys that don't know, and he played all 17 years of his career, which is a long football career. Football careers are usually much, much shorter. So that tells you something right there. He was committed to another level. Number two, he played for the whole time on one team, the Baltimore Ravens, which is very uncommon. So that shows you another level of commitment, loyalty, and leadership that they would keep him around too. And he's going to be talking about his journey a little bit, and he's going to be talking about how to transfer pain, which we all experience, into something beneficial in your life. So it's like taking something that you are going to experience, have experienced, will experience, are experiencing now, and showing you the process of making that something that actually benefits you and isn't something detrimental to you. So they got your notebooks. We're going to have a few live shares right after the video. And without further ado, welcome Ray Lewis to the Power Call.
I wanted to just really hit on something. Successfully dealing with pain. I think you hear many stories, and every story I just sat in the back room and listened to. I'm watching these people triumph and figure out ways to keep going. But how do you keep going? Why do you keep going? When the world says everything else is supposed to be opposite. October 7th, we're playing the Dallas Cowboys in Baltimore. And I've studied all week. I've studied all week for this one moment. And I know it's going to happen. I know it's going to happen. And I'm looking at Tony Romo, and I'm watching him drop back. And I'm saying to myself, drop and just pick up your hands and just pick it. Pick means interception. Right? And I'm saying, just catch it. Just pick your hands up and catch it, Lou. You done saw this play all week. Fourth quarter, big drive, Baltimore going crazy. And in the midst of it, the play happens, Romo drops, and I'm sitting there, and in my head, I promise you, I went through every thought. Catch it, knock it down, don't put your hands up. And the moment I hesitated for a moment, and by the time I put my hand up, my hand started to come down. And I felt the sound. I heard a sound that I have never heard in my entire life. And my tricep popped from the bone. And as soon as I hit it, I knew something was wrong. And I said, I cannot believe this. I said, I cannot believe this. Because I know now, this 17 years of me playing. So I know that this is my last ride. This is my last one. My tricep made 9 surgeries. I had 9 surgeries throughout my 17-year career. But I'm sitting there, and when I pop it, the moment I popped it, I said, now you got a choice. And I'm sitting out there with it pop, and all of my players looking at me, and they're like, you all right, Lou? And I'm like, I'm good, let's go. But I know I ain't good. And I know something's functionally not right. Something's wrong, because I can feel a burn. And 3 more plays after, 5 more plays after, 7 more plays after, 8 more plays after. I'm still out there fighting with my team because it's the 4th quarter. And you can't leave the battlefield. You can only leave the battlefield for injury, not pain. 15th play come up, young running back come through the hole. I'm realizing that if I don't sacrifice my body and throw it in the middle of him, he probably scores. We lose. But I got one arm. So I just threw my body and just rolled with him. And he got up talking, yeah, you got to come on, you got to come on. And I'm like, I'm going out. And I went to the sideline, and my doctor walked up, Dr. Curl walked up, and she said, what's wrong? I said, Doc, it's my arm. She grabbed the back of my arm, and she touched right at the bottom of my tricep, and she could actually push through to where you can see her hand coming through on the other side because it had snapped from the bone. And I'm sitting there, and she's like, why are you smiling? I say, Doc, it's just an arm. She was like, yeah, Ray, but I got some bad news. I say, Doc, what's that? She said, you just popped your tricep from the bone. I said, I just popped it from the bone. She said, it's gone. She's crying. I'm like, Doc, why you crying? She's like, I never wanted to see your career end like this. And I'm saying, career end like this? She said, because nobody has ever came back from this. Nobody has ever came back from a tricep injury, Ray. We was 4-1 at the time. So we was a quarter way through the season. And I'm sitting there, and she keeps moving it, she keeps moving it. And I said, and I started smiling again. She said, what you smiling for? Because I said, man believes in the possible. God believes in the impossible. I said, all I need you to do is meet me in the office in the morning and give me my papers. Papers mean MRI. After I went and got it, right, valid, to say, yeah, your tricep is torn. So she hands me the papers. I called a friend of mine. I said, man, I need your plane, man. I gotta go right now. I flew down to my college doctor, Dr. Uribe, and I got there. And I never forget, as soon as I walked in the door, he said, Ray, don't do what I think you're about to do. He said, don't do it, because it's the greatest risk you ever take in your life. I said, Doc, I ain't got no other choice. At this point in my career, I promised myself when I came into this game, if I was going to leave it, I would rather die on the field. But it's something that tearing my tricep taught me about there's 2 sides of pain that I don't think a lot of people really understand, right? There's one side of pain that's the suffering and the discomfort side of pain. That's why everybody raised their hands when I first asked, have everybody ever been through pain? Because that hurts. You remember what that felt like. But then there's another side of pain that's called effort. It's called glory. It's called, if you can find a way to push through pain, there's something greater on the other side of it. And if you never tap into it, it's because the first time you felt it, you backed off. The first time you felt, that burn, the first time you felt that it's too much. And we rationalize with ourselves to where we automatically stop. That's why a bunch of us give up so much in life so quickly. That's why kids have a problem finishing things in today's time. Because as soon as they feel a small bit of discomfort, of things ain't right, they're gone. I can't do it no more. But suppose I told you the greatest pain of my life is the reason I'm standing here today. Suppose I was able to share with you. My routine was so crazy, man. I was seeing almost 9 doctors for 9 weeks. 6 a.m. to 2 a.m. every morning. 10 days from tricep repair surgery. Had my bike flew out. I flew my bike out. I got on my bicycle. I cycle a lot. I got on my bike, and I tried to grip the bar, and I couldn't grip it. Didn't have enough strength. And I sat there for 30 minutes until I made up in my mind, stop crying, and grip the handlebars. Just grab the bar. See, sometimes we think the pain is what controls us. It's actually our subconscious mind that if we ever tapped into that, that's what dictates most of our lives. And I'm sitting there and I said, just squeeze it. And I squeezed it. 10 days out. And I started riding a bike 10 days out. Because see, pain is tricky. Because if you don't control pain, it'll control you. And so that's where my psyche started to change because, look, it was already in my mind that I was coming back. But listen to what I had to hear about all of the people who had everything to say about my career was over. Every TV station, every ESPN channel, sad news, Ray Lewis' career is over. And I'm saying, wow, that many people can dictate if I'm coming back or not? That many people got control over what I do from this point forward, going forward. That many people can tell me. Man, I heard one comment says, one of the greatest warriors of all time, and we lose him like this. So I said, oh my gosh, they done wrote me off. I say, I might as well pack it up. But think about what we do the moment we feel that, right? That's back to the two sides of fate, the two sides of pain. See, at that point, I feel like a victim. And I feel like, oh man, why me? You know, and dang it. Then after the first day I rode my bike, I came back. I failed twice. And when I failed, I remember laying on the ground. And I said, Lou, ain't nobody out here gonna help you get up. What makes you get up when you fall down? What makes your mentality change if there's a great situation or there's a bad situation? How do you dictate that based off the level of pain? Because I think that's where we're getting in trouble at. And so when I started cycling, when I started going to see these doctors, I realized that I turned my greatest pain into my greatest achievement. I asked my mom one day, I said, Mom, would you buy me a deck of cards? She says, Junior, I don't gamble in my house. Ain't no cards coming in my house. And I said, Mom, I don't need them for gambling. I don't want them for gambling. I just need a deck of cards, Mom. My mom, for years, from the time I was 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, I never saw a woman take so much physical abuse than the way I've seen my mother beaten every freaking day of my life. And I'm helping her, but I can't help her because I'm not strong enough. I don't have the muscle to get these men off my mother. My mother's a very high yellow woman, and every time they hit her, she would bleed from her eyes. And she would walk around for days with sunglasses on in the house. And I said, Ma, I need a deck of cards. Last altercation we got in, my stepfather hit my mama so hard in the face. I called her And I looked at him with this rage and this pain in my eyes. Like one day. And I took this deck of cards. And I couldn't live in the house, so I had to live in the garage. And after this last altercation we had with this guy, I ran to my garage and I grabbed this deck of cards and I flipped a 7 and I started doing 7 push-ups. I flipped a 6, I did 6. I flipped a 9, I did 9. I flipped a 2, I did 2. I flipped another 9, I did 9 until I got all the way through the deck. Jack, Queen, King worked 10. Jack, aces 25s and jokers 50. Until I got sick and tired of what pain felt like in my gut. It didn't even matter to me no more because I started shuffling them all over again, and that's when I started doing my sit-ups because I wanted to make sure sports wasn't the reason why I started training. It was to make sure man never put his hands on my mama again. That's why I started doing what I started doing. Sports was a byproduct of what people started to see. It was the behind the scenes that was driving me crazy. At 10 years old, I picked up these deck of cards. And one day I counted them. And I found out there was 52 of them in the deck of cards. 52. And I turned my greatest pain into, in my business, what the greatest achievement ever is the touch of the Aubrey trophy. 52 cards. And ironically, my number ended up being 52. I wish I made up a story, but I didn't. 1986, I'm sitting on the curb. My mama come home. She say, "Baby Ray, what you doing?" I said, "Mom, I'm waiting for my daddy to come get me." She said, "Baby Ray, your daddy ain't coming." I said, "Mom, somebody said daddy in town and he coming to get me for Christmas." She said, "Baby Ray, your daddy ain't coming." I said, "Mom, I'm not leaving. I'm going to sit right here." 7:30 came by, 8:30, 9:30. She came back out and said, "Son, get up. He ain't coming." I said, "Mom, he got to come. I'll be all right." I sat there till 11:30 at night. She finally walked over to me. She said, "Baby Ray, get up. He ain't coming." And I remember getting up from that freaking curve. And I told my mama that day, "Mama, no pain will ever stop me from taking care of you and my brothers and sisters. Because nobody knows what I'm dealing with. The greatest pain a man will ever go through in his life is the disconnection of a father. When you know he living." I thank my father because we're friends now. But I thanked my father for not coming around me when I was a child. Because the way he was living wasn't the way I was supposed to live. So sometimes to really find the root of who you are, you must go back generationally and find out if you're following the same curses. That's what pain is. Pain is a partition of the psyche. Until you learn how to figure it out, until you learn how to tap it on the back and say, "I know you there, but I'm built to deal with you." I don't want nobody to leave here today and not understand why we must find a way to push through pain to understand that's on the other side of that is glory. The night before the Super Bowl, I retore my tricep. Couldn't tell nobody.
That was super powerful. That was epic. That was a great video. All right, let's get a few shares. Roxy, you ready to share?
Yes. Man, I really love this video. I could relate to him so much whenever he was sharing about just his mother and his father. Like, I caught myself like a little tear here. But I thought it was just so powerful the way that he was talking about how to turn your pain into your greatest achievement. You know, I know for me in the past, I used to carry so much pain inside of me that I would use that pain as an excuse as to why not to do things. I would use that pain to say, hey, my life is all screwed up and that's why it's going to continue to be screwed up. But rather something switched inside of me, and then I took that pain to fuel me towards success, towards taking care of myself. And not only just taking care of myself, but knowing that I had a bigger purpose to fulfill, to change the whole trajectory of my family's life if I wanted it to be different. You know, for me, it was just like, if I wanted things to be different, then I know that I had to choose differently and to use the pain of the childhood, of the teen years and all of those things to fuel you to a greater and better path. And that's exactly what I was just able to relate to him in that level. And I loved how he said, you have to get sick and tired of pain. You know, most people are fueled by one of two reasons. Either it's pain or it's pleasure. But if you can use whatever pain that you have, it could take you so far, because you already know what it feels like. You've already had it there for all of your life. So why not shift that and use that towards achieving greater achievements inside of your life, not only for yourself, but for other people. Like, it's just so amazing to hear his story and to see what he was able to do by taking that pain and using it in a way that was going to change his mother's life. And in turn, it changed his life. And in turn, he's made such a massive amount of impact, I'm sure, in so many people's lives, because he was able to use his pain in a different way. So I really love that. And I'm going to pass it over to Aubrey.
Awesome takeaways. I'm telling you guys, I've been listening to Ray in my workouts, man. Dude be having me pumped up. I just really love his passion. And, you know, passion is something you can't fake. And some of my biggest takeaways, he said, you can't leave the battlefield. And you especially can't leave the battlefield because of pain. You know, and the battlefield for you might be different than Ray Lewis. You probably don't play football, but your battlefield is maybe, you know, taking care of your family. Your battlefield is maybe becoming your best self. Your battlefield is maybe your next health result. Your battlefield is maybe dropping that weight, gaining that energy, you know, completing a task at work. Everybody has a different battlefield, but if you let pain be the reason that you quit, then you're quitting for the wrong reason, because pain is actually the indicator that you're going in the right direction. You got to remember, when you're in the gym, if it doesn't burn, you're not doing nothing. And the same thing in your battle. If you're not, you know, coming up against challenges and having, you know, feedback and all these things that we consider painful. He said, why do a lot of kids not make it these days? It's because the minute they, you know, reach some adversity, they're like, oh man, it's done. You know, in Herbalife, I remember people would tell me when I started, it doesn't work. It kills people. You get fat after. That's a pyramid scheme. What are you doing? And this is somebody that had a medical background. And these are people that have a Coca-Cola in their hand telling me about health. And I could have, A, been like, they're right. Or I could have, B, been like, maybe this is the fact that I'm going in the right direction, that I'm encountering these challenges. Because if we want to change lives, we've got to do the first thing in that sentence, which is change. We can't do what we've been doing. 3/4 of the population is overweight. So if we don't do something different, meaning it's going to be challenged, because challenge always gets a difference. And that told me that, you know what, maybe this is going to work. And I'm telling you that for your battlefield, because if you do what you've always done, you're not going to get anything different. But if you're on the battlefield, you're trying to get something different. You're trying to get that new position. You're trying to get that new result. You're trying to get that new life. So I really love that. He said, man believes in the possible. God believes in the impossible. Which one do you believe in? If you believe the past is going to create the future, and for it to be realistic, it has to have happened before, then you're always going to get what you've gotten. And you're going to get realistic and average, unless you believe in the God in the unmanifest and the impossible. So I really love that. And then, you know, your greatest pain can be your greatest achievement. And then he said, are you following generational curses? He said he thanked his dad later for not being around when he wasn't living a life that was going to positively impact him, because he didn't know that that could have followed out on him. And this is one of the biggest things that, if you can understand this, will change your life. When we are kids, we always, there's not one person listening to this or on a live recording that hasn't taken on a mental model from somebody they've looked up to in their life. Usually it's your mom and dad if they were in your life when you were young. If not, it was whoever took care of you. Whether you know it or not, remember, kids are only born with the fear of loud sounds and falling. Everything else is learned. So everything else you've learned from somebody. It didn't just pop in your head out of nowhere. And sometimes those things can be curses. They don't always benefit you, and you may not even know it. Maybe you think you're supposed to be fat. Maybe you think you're supposed to be broke. Maybe you think you're supposed to be unhappy. Maybe you think you're supposed to be beaten or unappreciated or not taken care of. I don't know what it is, but you got it from somewhere. And now as an aware human being, you get to start to become aware of what you believe and saying, hey, does this serve me or does this not serve me? Is this a curse or is this a blessing? Because it's either one or the other. It's not in between. There's no in between. So I really love that. I love this man's passion. I love his story. True warrior, in all senses of the word. So let's get a couple shares. Who's excited to share? Give me a smile or a thumbs up if you want to share a quick takeaway. Let's get it. My man Preston. You're unmuted, bro. Hit him with it.
For sure. Thank you so much, Dr. Obbs. Again, just want to let you know, thank you so much for having me every single Monday, man. Get me pumped up. I'm about to kick camp in an hour, so ready to start the day. But like you said, it's crazy how you said, man believes in the possible and the Lord believes in the impossible. And the biggest takeaway I got was if you don't control your pain will control you. And that is so powerful because so many people want to look at the glass half empty instead of half full. And it's the same case of pain. You can look at it as something that you were hurt from, something that scarred you, or you can use it to fuel you to get to a place of higher level, whatever capacity that's supposed to take you. And then, like you said, you can't leave the battlefield for pain only for injury. That one really got me good because, like you said, we don't all play football, we don't all play a sport, but our battlefield can be just our day-to-day lives that we have every single day. And if you can't conquer the things that are minute that you consider pain, how are you supposed to conquer the injury when something big comes and hits you? You got to be able to work through all those things and get better from them and not wane under pressure. So it was just powerful when you said those two lines to me.
Dope. Love it. Control your pain or pain will control you. I love that one. Let's get another takeaway. Who's excited? Give me a thumbs up or a smile. Let's get it, Candelaria. Hit him with it. I love your shirt.
Thank you. I just got it branded this weekend at the AMK party.
Let's get it.
So my thing that stood out to me was when he said, what makes you get up when you fall down? And what makes me get up when I fall down is 10 years ago, I lost my brother to suicide. And that took a huge impact in my life because we were really close. And then a year later, I lost my favorite aunt to cancer. And so when I think about how they're no longer around, and they were both extremely young, that was a big impact for me. And so when I get down and I fall down, I have to get back up because I have to be back up and successful for them. And that's what drives me through. That's my pain. My pain was mental over physical. And so when I think about moments like that, I think about how they're no longer here. So if I fall down and hurt myself or if something doesn't go my way, it doesn't really matter. I got to keep going and I got to keep pushing hard every single day because I'm living for them as well as myself.
Man, super powerful. Thank you for sharing. Love that. That was dope. Great job, Joseph. We got time for one more if somebody's really excited to share something. Let's get it. Give me a thumbs up. Let's get it. My man, Jay Stevens. Let's get it. What you got?
Hey, I really just want to share, just touch on that, that without leaving a battlefield because of pain, or not leaving the battlefield because of pain, but has to be injury. Like, that really spoke to me. I know everybody said it, but like, that's the reason I go to the gym now. Like, it started out, I wanted to get bigger. I got tired of being skinny. But now I go to the gym because it gives me the opportunity to practice pushing past the pain. You know what I'm saying? Like every time it burns, that's my scenario or my opportunity to practice pushing. You know what I'm saying? So like, I just left the gym working out with other people, trying to help other people, but now I'm going to the gym for myself so I can practice pushing again because the practice of it makes me better. Like, every time life gets to a point of it starts burning, I know I can push past the pain because I've done it in the gym for hours and days and years now. You know what I mean? So I like that idea that, you know, you don't leave because of pain. You can get past pain. You know what I mean? And I like that concept, and I use that concept when I'm in the gym. I'm ready to go use it right now. So I really appreciate that, man.
Nice, man. Love that takeaway. Building a muscle. You know, when one of the videos I watched while I'm working out, a guy named Mike O'Hearn, we called the Titan, he said, you got to be able to push in here, but also you got to be able to take what you build in the gym and put it into your life, meaning not just the muscles, but the mindset. That day when you go and you don't feel like going. That rep you do that when you don't feel like doing it. That barrier that you break that you didn't think you could break. Remember, these are all just metaphors for your bigger life. So I love that, Justin. Great stuff, man. Powerful video. I want to, acknowledge everybody that was on live during the call. Your guys' energy makes it what it is. And then also, everybody that's watching on the recording, thank you guys. Let's pay this knowledge forward. Got a couple quick announcements. Today is the first actual day of Roxy's Build Your Glutes program. Early registration is done.
Yeah, Roxy!
Starting Max is about to get crazy results. It's $25 now for her 4-week program. She put on 23, 24 pounds of healthy weight. So if anybody wants to know how to build those glutes, hit up Rox. And then also today, official registration for my program starts, which is the Dr. Aub's Gains Approved program, when I put on 31 pounds. So what I'm so excited about these programs for is they weren't theory. They weren't what we thought might happen. We both did this, and we just finished our gains and our weight gain programs ourselves. And only from that space will we share it with you guys. And that's really because we always seek to be tour guides, taking where we've been rather than travel agents sending you where we think would be cool. So I'm so excited. My program is still in the early bird, $15 registration till the 5th when it starts. It'll be going the 5th through the 30th. Both of them will be giving you in-depth workout training regimens, meal tips, online support group, and the best shape of your life if you put in the work. So super excited for you guys. You can message us or hit us up for any more info. You sign up through the PayPal link on our Instagram, and then we send you out the program when you put your email in the comments. So super excited for you guys to get into this amazing Monday. I'm going to unmute everybody. Where's that energy at? Hey! Let's get it. Happy Monday. Come on, man.
Happy Monday, man.